Welcome to the UFC Predictions Tracker channel. Because this is the first video, I would like to take this opportunity to do a short introduction of what you can expect from this channel. So, before each UFC event, I'm going to track a lot of UFC channels that make picks for every event. I'll track the picks of bigger UFC channels like The Weasel and MMA Guru, but also of UFC fighters or ex-UFC fighters like Alexandr Volkanovski and Michael Bisping, and also smaller channels like Johnny K Picks and Artem MMA. For every fight on the card, I show you which fighter got the most and least picks and how many percent of the picks are for each fighter. I also show you the most recent average odds to see if there are maybe some interesting fighters to bet on. For example, on this card there are two underdogs odds-wise, but they got more picks than their opponents. Then, after each UFC event, we will look at the results and see which channel had the most or least correct picks, and we will also pretend that every channel places a $100 bet on their pick for each fight and see who won or lost the most for every UFC event. Then at the end of each month, quarter and end of the year, we will have a summary of which channels did the best and worst with their picks and which channel won or lost the most with their bets. Okay, that was it for the introduction. Let's get to the first fight of UFC 302. The first fight of the night is Raposo versus Lima. Raposo is the underdog with average odds of plus 214, and Lima is the favorite with average odds of minus 268. Only 26 channels made a pick for this fight because Raposo was a last minute replacement. Some channels already made their picks based on the previous opponent, and I have to ignore those picks. Anyway, 4 out of 26 or 15.4% choose Raposo to win, and 22 out of 26 or 84.6% chose Lima to win. So Lima seems to be a clear favorite to win this fight. The next fight is Perez versus Edwards. Perez is the favorite with average odds of minus 185. And Edwards is the underdog with average odds of plus 153. 33 channels made a pick for this fight. 30 of those, 90.9% choose Perez to win, and 3 of them, or 9.1%, choose Edwards to win. One of those picks comes from ChatGPT. I think it will be fun to see how good artificial intelligence will be with picks for UFC. So that's why it's included. But more interestingly, there's also 2 picks from 2 UFC fighters, Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman, so we'll have to wait and see if they're right. Perez has a very high pick percentage, over 90%, and still has really good odds of only minus 185. That's why I give Perez the label of high pick percentage and good odds. The next fight is Gall versus Hafez. Gall is the underdog with average odds of plus 307. And Hafez is the favorite with average odds of minus 405. 34 channels made a pick for this fight, and only 2 or 5.9% of them choose Gall to win. 32 or 94.1 choose Hafez to win. So odds wise and by picks, this looks like a tough fight to win for Gall. On to the next fight and the first fight of the prelims, which is Price versus Morono. Price is the underdog with average odds of plus 208, and Morono is the favorite with average odds of minus 258. 34 channels made a pick for this fight, and only Henry Cejudo is choosing Price to win. Maybe Henry knows something that the others don't know, but I guess we'll see Saturday if he's right. 33 out of 34 or 97.1% are choosing Morono to win, and he is the clear favorite. Actually, he has the most picks percentage-wise on this card. There's also another fighter on this card who has the same pick percentage as Morono, but we will get to that fight shortly. But for someone with so many picks, I think minus 258 odds are pretty decent. So that's why I also give Morono the high pick percentage and good odds label. Alright, on to the next fight, which is Rowe versus Matthews. This is a very interesting fight to me odds wise and in picks. As you can see, Rowe is the underdog in odds with plus 135, but most channels are choosing him to win. 22 out of 32 or 68.75% think he will win this fight. Compared to his opponent Matthews, who is the favorite in odds with minus 162, but has less picks with only 10 out of 32 picks or 31.25%. So Rowe, the underdog, is picked the most in this match, and that's why I give Rowe the label of higher pick percentage and an underdog label. The next fight is Dawson versus Solecki, and just as an earlier fight on this card, only one person is choosing Solecki, but this time it is Jacobs from the channel We Want Picks. Solecki is the underdog with odds of plus 371. The rest of the channels are all choosing Dawson to win. 33 out of 34 pick him, or 97.1%, which also makes him the highest picked fighter of this card together with Morono. But unlike Morono, his odds are less good. Morono's odds are minus 258, but Dawson odds are minus 509. So I can give him the label of high pick percentage and good odds, as I did with Morono. So yeah, Dawson, a huge favorite by picks and odds to win this fight. Next up is Almeida versus Kopylov. To be clear, this is Cesar Almeida and not Jailton Almeida, who is fighting on the main card. So this is also a very interesting fight to me when you look at the odds and picks. Almeida is the favorite odds wise with minus 122, but only has 12 out of 34 picks, or 35.3%. But his opponent Kopylov is a small underdog with plus 101 odds, but he has 22 out of 34 picks, or 64.7%. That's why Kopylov also gets the label of higher pick percentage and an underdog. And this is the first fight of the main event, and it's Brown versus Zaleski. Brown is the favorite in this fight with minus 180 odds and also with picks. 23 out of 36 or 63.9% pick him to win. Zaleski is the underdog with plus 149 odds and 13 out of 46 or 36.1% pick him to win. This fight is the closest in picks of this card, so it should be an interesting fight because of that. The next fight is the other Almeida, Jailton Almeida versus Romanov. Almeida is the big favorite with odds of minus 302. He's got 33 out of 36 picks or 91.7%. Romanov is the big underdog with plus 239 odds and only getting 3 out of 36 picks. This should be a tough match for him looking at the odds and picks. Up next is Holland versus Oleksiejczuk. Holland is a big favorite with minus 294 average odds and 32 picks out of 37 total picks, or 86.5%. His opponent Oleksiejczuk is the underdog with plus 233 average odds. Not many people are choosing him to win, only 5 out of 37. But interestingly, 2 UFC fighters choose him to win, Kamaru Usman and Renato Moicano, aka Money Moicano. And also the MMA guru picks him as well. We have to wait and see if they are right this Saturday. On to the co-main event of the evening, which is Strickland versus Costa. As you can see, Strickland is a big favorite versus Costa, getting 31 out of 37 picks, or 83.8% of picks. His average odds are minus 255. Paulo Costa is the underdog with plus 203 odds and only getting 6 out of 37 picks, or 16.2% of the total picks. So yeah, Strickland seems to be a clear favorite to win this fight. Alright, and now we go to the main event of the evening, which is of course Makhachev versus Poirier. And well, not many people think Dustin will win here. His average odds are plus 433, which makes him the biggest underdog of this card. With the picks, it's not much better. He's only getting 2 out of 37 picks, or 5.4% of the total picks. Makhachev, on the other hand, is the biggest favorite in average odds of this card with minus 637. Almost everyone picks him to win with 35 out of 37 picks, or 94.6% of the total picks. Still a very exciting fight, and as we all know, anything can happen in a fight. So even though Dustin is a big underdog, I'm still very excited for this fight. Well, that was it for UFC 302 and all picks for this event. Hope you enjoyed it. This Sunday I will make a video with the results of this card. We will see which channels have the most and least correct picks. And we will also pretend every channel made a $100 bet on each pick and see who won or lost the most. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like. And if you want to see the next video with the results this Sunday, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching and see you again in the next one.